to see Marineking just go for a very standard expansion into a good amount of units.
All right, well, up here in the top right-hand corner of the map ESV Cloud Kingdom, it is none other than Marineking Prime taking the last game over MC. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner from SK Gaming, it is none other than MC. We're tied 1-1 now in this series. This is a very, very important match for these two players. If Marineking loses this, it will be his first best of 3 that he's lost all tournament long.
Yeah, and that could allow someone like Dongregu to catch up, who, when I last checked, was on a 3-2 score after he beat Hart. And Marineking, of course, right now 4-0. 4-1 is pretty close to 3-2, and they haven't played each other yet. So that would put the onus on Dongregu to beat Marineking and possibly take over his pole position.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out the poll results here, guys. Wow, MC, the crowd favorite here, 82%. Which, you know, that's actually super surprising to me. Marineking, I figured was the fan favorite, but apparently the fans say otherwise. They really want the President Protoss to succeed in this final third match.
Yeah, and I hope I'm not wrong, but it could be influenced a little bit about the fact that MC is fighting for his tournament life here.
Right.
MC, is he at 1-3 or is it 1-4?
I think it's 1-4 because he ended up losing to Violet, correct?
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
Violet actually beat Huck right after that as well. So
oh, did he?
Apparently, yeah, it was a 3-0 actually.
Wow.
So apparently Violet's doing something right in that matchup, and I think it starts with an R because that's all he made in the 3 games that I saw. So.
Good unit Toy have.
Yeah.
and now we've got MC. There's just almost no doubt about it that if MC loses this, it will be very difficult indeed for him to get top 6. He still has 2 PvPs, one against Parting and one against Huck, I believe.
I believe you are correct. Yeah, Huck has MC and I think Hart left today.
Yeah. So this is very important for MC, and it's just all about him rallying to the occasion, rising to the occasion, something he's so good at. Let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, just to speak to that a little bit more, this is a guy that won a tournament, traveled home, played Codes as soon as he got off the plane, and won his game in I think round of 32, maybe round of 16 last season. So this guy knows what it takes to really be a top-level player, even traveling to all those tournaments when you're maybe not in the best shape health-wise and stamina-wise, but he can play his game when it really counts, and this is going to be a very important match, so it definitely counts for him.
Yeah, and now we see MC taking actually his second gas. He was on a 13 gate into 17 cybernetic score, chronoing out his first unit that can fight in the game, Stalker, and it could be a lot of different things. The fact that he lost his probe makes it very not likely that he's going to proxy a Stargate somewhere, because he doesn't have a pylon on the map. It's very, I'm very curious to see what he's going to do. He's mining full gas from those assimilators, so it could be either DT tech or a robotics facility.
Now,
let's see.
What do you think if he does go for DT tech? I think we're about to find out right here as a probe is going out, and looks like he's just going to expand off of this.
Okay, so he's expanding off of a very high gas amount, so that's going to give him some options after that Nexus comes up about what exactly he wants to do. He's not making any sentries yet, so I'm a little surprised by that. Usually you see after the first Stalker a number of sentries being made, and now he's going to queue a Stalker. Is that just a Stalker that he doesn't really mean to make because he wants to show the SCV that he's producing army? You could see that he started it right as the SCV came in, and I feel like almost he wouldn't have made it maybe if the SCV didn't come in. Let's see if he cancels it now when the SCV left. No.
We see right there the Twilight Council. What MC might be doing here is that very quick 2-base Templar Archive play that Parting actually has favored against MKP in the past, and I would not at all be surprised by that, but he might also go for DTs. I feel like DTs are just a little bit too risky and too easy to be stopped.
Yeah, and it doesn't really favor, the map doesn't really favor DTs, because there's just one common choke through which the enemy can defend. Marineking now with the bunker there, could just throw up a turret there easily, and hey, take a look at Marineking's build.
Yeah, okay, he's
double barracks, double reactor, factory with tech lab, so it's going to be a lot of Marines without upgrades, backed up by siege tanks, and starport also being made. Oh,
yeah. No. Oh, okay, he is going DT, Grubby.
Yeah.
If it works, he's going to be a champion. If it doesn't, everyone's going to remember that he went DT in Game 3 versus MKP 1-1.
And now, yeah, good point. and now we know actually why he wants so much gas. He's getting those DTs, but he also is getting a robotics facility. So by skipping almost, by skipping a lot of sentries, no, actually he's getting sentries. By getting that much gas, he's able to make sentries now, as well as getting all that tech. So he's actually saying, yeah, I know Grubby and JP. I know that he's gonna make, I know that this map doesn't suit itself to frontal DTs. I'm gonna drop him in your base, but is this possibly the worst thing that could happen? A Raven being produced?
Raven, first thing out of the starport. Here's a Warp Prism coming in. 4MC out of that robotics facility, but
of course Raven can only be in one place
that's true
at a time, but there is a turret there. Marineking, I mean, Marineking is possibly sniffing this out. He saw just one gateway, he saw 2 gases, he saw only stalkers, so he knows it's something very gas heavy. So really liking what he's doing here, making tanks very good defensively, not moving out with Marines on the map. And he's got that Raven out. Good choice there. Now gonna reactor his starport probably to make some medivacs.
Yeah. You know, the scary thing, or not the scary thing, but the big thing is that MC cannot overcommit with these DTs. If it fails right off the bat, he immediately has to do something else. Possibly just going into Archon Zealot play.
Yeah.
Maybe getting charged, but you cannot overcommit with DTs. They are so expensive, and you really start to lose economically if you just commit way too much. So here are 3 DTs coming. Big thing is that he has to split them up, but he can't go into the natural because that missile turret is already there. And where
but
is the
Marineking
Raven
definitely doesn't peg him on a Warp Prism DT drop kind of play. He's got everything, including the Raven, at the natural. And now the 3 DTs come in. And how many scans do we have? We see only 1 orbital with 1 scan possibly. And he's gonna attack this tech lab here, which has the combat shield. And he's probably gonna cancel that. No, he's not, of course. There is a Raven. And as that Raven comes in, kills another DT. Gonna save the 3rd DT. Grand total kills of 7 workers. Not too bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
But I feel like immediately MC has to think about his next step in the move. Sorry, his next move or step in this game. Not getting charged. Will add 3 more gates, so he's just gonna use 6 gateways in Immortals. And once more the DT came in. Got the number of SCV kills, 1 more SCV, and now taking it out again. Now getting charged.
I actually quite like this right now from MC. He's forced MKP to pull all of his SCVs very many times here from the main, and that is going to hurt your economy very harshly. But MKP could really move out like we're doing right now and deal a huge amount of damage because he knows that MC has invested so much into this early tech that he might just be able to overwhelm him. But a lot of force fields out here for MC as well as this Immortal. And is he actually moving?
Well, he wants to try and hold Marineking before it gets to his main base. Because there are tanks on the map, you don't want to give your opponent that kind of positional advantage. So he's looking at the Zolnaga Tower, sees the amount of Marines, doesn't like his chances to stay there. He doesn't know if Stimpack is actually out. Now, we know that it isn't. MKP just went for Combat Shield without Stim. So that's something that helps MC. And MC is going to try and probably force field this off. Is he though? Is he going to force field it off? Oh, there we go.
Okay, he gets to the very last second. But there are 2 siege tanks down on the low ground. Those will completely obliterate those sentries. And there's the focus fire. He loses one of them very low. There's another force field. The 2 Immortals are still up. Big warp-ins here of Zealots and 2 DTs. Meanwhile, the 1 DT is still out in that Warp Prism. MKP is pushing up. Takes out the Observer very quickly there with the Raven and Stalkers, and here we go.
And charge finishes. Charge finishes and force fields behind the Marines. A few Zealots walk in, not too much, but the Archon is doing a great job. And now as the Raven goes down, he could be using DTs.
Yeah, the DT coming in from the Warp Prism behind to get that siege tank. MC is going to hold this beautifully. And now this is actually a game here because we thought it might end with that push.
Yeah, it was so smart. I was hoping he would do something like that. Drop that DT in. He chose not to just waste that DT, hope that the DT would do something in Marineking's base. No, he took it from behind. Tanks, they're really hard to get to, but you've got this Warp Prism and a DT, very high damage shield, and he brought it in and was killing those tanks. Beautifully done by MC, and I mean he had that Archon in time, great force fields, and charge finish just in time as well. And now, guess what? He's all ready for the follow-up in this game. A lot of workers, 56 probes, and he's also getting his first Colossus out, which is really great against the mainly Marine-based army from MKP.
Now, the thing with this attack that MKP just did is the follow-up attack is the one that usually kills, but MC did not lose really anything in that fight. He now has 3 Immortals and that Colossus out, so the army for MC is actually so much better prepared for this upcoming attack. And MKP, this attack might just get destroyed. He will have Stim though, and the Destructible Rocks are gone, but it looks like he's going to be checking for a third base. The Warp Prism sees what's going on. MC's army is getting in position. There's the stem in. Colossus does not have range. It's very close to being finished here, though, and he's going to have to pull back with those siege tanks.
I mean, MC doesn't need to be impatient here at all. He doesn't need to run into those tanks. There's nothing really to defend here. And I'm liking how... Oh, big warp in of Zealots now, and Marines are being dropped in the main, focusing down that Dark Shrine and Pylon a little bit, but the Colossus, they can walk over cliffs and will attack those Marines who stim away and try to get as many probe kills as they can. Just one probe kill, though, and the Colossus will be able to re-enter here. And I'm getting so much nerd chills watching MC here. He's doing everything right. Immortals now taking down the tanks and so many charged Zealots. Marineking can micro all he wants, but that's just too much army. And MC, you know what? He's just going to take his third.
Yeah, and I mean, he can do it. He actually had the perfect army to deal with that upcoming second attack there for MKP. Those Colossus will completely obliterate any siege tanks that you have because they have the range. And he had so many Zealots that he could just throw away a lot of those onto the Bioforce of MKP. All he has to do is force him back, takes his third, and he is sitting so far ahead in this game.
Oh yeah, and I mean, this is the type of game that I want to show to someone on the street, someone in the train, a parent, or someone who doesn't know gaming. This is art, man. This is
really
so beautifully played by MC. The way he followed up every threat with the appropriate response, the correct defense, and the right amount of units. It's just so nice to see. And Marineking, usually so confident in his play, is being kind of picked apart, and now the War Prism circling around the top, the north side of the map with 4 Zealots in there, and yeah, he's got a missile turret there which can spot for DTs, but guess what? Charged Zealots coming in, ruining your day.
Smart. He's denying the third base a little bit here from even landing. The Zealot gets right under at the last second.
So
the Zealots
nice.
are just destroying everything here, trying to be built in the main base of MKP. Meanwhile, the army of MC is just getting bigger and bigger, and so many more Colossus are being added to this. And Grubby, he's got upgrades this game. You already have +1 and +2 coming in.
It's over, Marineking. MC has an attack upgrade. He actually uses force this game.
Exactly. We see the Templar Archives now being warped in, so Storm is going to be added in. And once you get on 3 bases toss against a Terran opponent who's been behind economically for a while, it is very, very hard to stop that attack.
Yeah, now with 5 Colossus out, and we've got 7 Vikings, but already the Storm switch is being made, which means that in any amount of time now, soon there will be Storm out, and it's so great to have. There are no ghosts on the field. I don't think we even have a Ghost Academy. No, we do not.
I'm getting a little bit nervous right now. MC is moving out when he might not want to, as this is a huge force for MKP, possibly one of the last attacks, but here he goes. Not that many force builds in this attack for MC, but he's also got 5 Colossus, so MKP is being very close, or very careful not to overextend himself, taking a lot of volleys from those Vikings, leading forward with the Stalkers to try to take some more chip damage off the Vikings, and now MKP is actually retreating.
Yeah, Marineking does have 2 upgrades against just 1-1 from MC, soon to be 2 attack and 1 armor, so is ahead with those upgrades. Still a little bit too much Marines that more than he might want in a composition like this. By this time normally he would love to have a little bit more Marauder percentage in that army, as well as a number of Ghosts. And supply always very telling in the PvT matchup, both armies on the same supply, usually about equal strength, but Marineking is down 20 supply, and there's so many Colossus. These amount of Vikings cannot take down those Colossus in time, and they're getting some great swipes on the Terran army. First Storm being used, and it was super effective. Zealots now kind of melting away, but there's still another Storm ready to be used, and now will morph those Templars into an Archon, and Marineking's army is being torn apart by Colossi. I do think so too, JP, as MC is smelling blood and chasing this army.
Even with the blink, taking out the Medivacs, which is not a good sight to see as a Terran player. And meanwhile, over here at the third base of MKP, 4 Zealots have been warped in. I believe from a Warp Prism are just dropped, going through the SCVs, and MC, hey, he's doing the right thing, guys. He's actually just fallen back, taking a secret kind of 4th base over here in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, and you can defend that kind of thing with Templars, a couple of Zealots, good amount of gateways for instant warp-ins, and if you need to, you can even warp in a DT there. So it's the excellent, basically, display of when you should want to maybe take a secret base in a situation like this. Marineking, he's just worried about the bases that MC has. He can't really think about the bases that MC maybe has somewhere along the map. So it's just something that really solidifies MC's advantage in this game.
Right. The one thing I want to ask you about, Grubby, is MC currently has 79 probes. That means his army size is going to be a little bit smaller. Is that too many at this stage in the game?
Normally it is too many. You don't want to have 79 probes against a Terran, but MC is being very meticulous about spending his money and fighting before he hits 200 supply every single time.
That is a great point.
Just now he fought the second he got his 200 supply, and it's just so well done.
MC moving forward, 2-2 upgrades, 3 attack about to start, but same as MKP. There's a good side storm landed, but meanwhile, MC's pushing straight into the natural of MKP. If he can go sit on those production facilities, it's going to be all she wrote. Here comes a great blink and a side storm on top of everything MKP has. He is just getting completely obliterated by the side storms, by the Colossus, and MC is just pushing his lead further and further here. 161 to 92 for MC right now in this match.
A little bit of a funny small army here from MC. Very expensive army, very gas expensive, and will actually get cleaned up. And probably partly due to what you said, that his probe count is so high, perhaps him not fully realizing that his army was indeed not that impressive. But basically, you know what, the damage gets done. That orbital had to lift off for a while. A lot of SCVs died in the process. Marineking has almost no SCVs left, 25 SCVs. So even though Marineking won that battle, as they say, I think he lost the war.
Yeah, look how many Templar are out right now on the field for him. See a total of 10 scattered all around the map, and also with his main force. Looks like he's just favoring the Zealot Templar combination here for his army. MKP does have a 4th CC over here at his 3rd base, but like you had mentioned, his SCV count is so low, only at 31 right now. And here come 4 more Zealots for MC, pushing the army of MKP back to that 3rd base and denying him any map control. And MC's actually slipping now over into the natural once again.
Yeah, and because there are no ghosts on the field, MC can do so nicely positionally. He knows that. He's pushing into the natural. His economy is great, so he can afford to lose these kind of armies. And then he's using those zealots to bait in Marineking, and he gets his Templar ready, and beautiful storms there.
Oh my god, MC storms are just so good in this match. And guys, we know he's losing his army here, but he just has the bases to be able to throw away these small little armies like this. And with those clutch side storms, very slowly he's dwindling down the force of MKP because he knows his economy is hurting so bad.
Yeah, and when you have low probes and high army, I mean, yeah, look at that. He even cleared up all the SCVs here. I just wanted to say, when you have this really big army with like kind of low probe count, you gotta do one great fight and make it count with your superior army and be really cost efficient. And MC, he's got so many probes. This is exactly what he needs to do. Keep losing his army. It's fine.
Right,
he's keeping MKP pinned to 3 bases. Can we even call it that? It's more like 0.3 bases by this time.
Right. And the best part is that each time he comes in for an attack, MC, he's changing his army up. This time he's got 2 Colossus added in there, a little bit of sentries as well, and so many more side storms in it. And now we see him pushing forward, and I'm not sure, this might actually be the killing blow here, as he's producing 2 Colossus at a time. The Viking count might not be able to keep up, only has 2 out on the map and 2 in production at a single time. Again, the supply 180 to 76.
And MC is finally sitting at 3 upgraded units. So is Marineking, but we've got a lot of splash damage here. 2 Archons, 3 Colossi, and 4 High Templar with full energy. Storm, not that great, but I mean, he's forcing the army to run, and he's getting free shots with his Archons. And those storms were great, and that one is awesome, and that one is deadly, and the last one was not necessary at all. He was just storming those bodies.
MC has done it, Grubby, taking out MKP 2-1 in a series. You look at him,
he was pleased about himself,
He's so happy about that. Yeah, think about that. You saw in the second game, actually, with the 2 dots. You know, he was really frustrated with himself in that second game. And here he is taking game 3. So congratulations to MC taking that match. Now, I do want to go over to the analysis desk with QXE and Exov. What did you guys think of that game 3?
That was definitely an exciting game. A lot of back and forth pushes, Marineking's early aggression. What do you think about that second push he did, QXE?
There were so many pushes. Remind me which one the second one was.
So the second one was when he was pushing up at the 3rd, and MC had about 2 Colossi. His Colossi range just finished.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When Colossus range finishes, usually you can do a lot of good things. I think the really cool thing about that game, though, was how MC would constantly come, there's my hand, come into the 3rd from the top, and then he would also jut into the natural at the same time. And he kept putting Marineking in this position where he had to defend 2 fronts at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely with Zealots, that's what you want to do. Because Zealots, you don't have to micro. You just throw them in there. And then where they're trying to micro stutter step against your Zealots, your other army with your Templar, your Valby units, you're focusing on that and microing
Yeah,
those units.
definitely.
Right. The thing that I was just thinking about, in those 3 matches, MC never played the same style in all 3 games.
Good point.
So changing it up, maybe it seems to be MKP weakness in that matchup. I think that might be one of the only Protoss to defeat him recently in a best-of-3 series.
Yeah, that's true. It would be interesting to see some stats on that, but it's also just the mark of a champion. And let's face it, both
that's
MC
true.
and Marineking have proven to be champions. If you do the same thing twice in a row, someone really good is going to be more ready for it. And this is definitely something a little bit out of the way. War Prism with Dark Templar drop.
Right.
And he just used it so well.
Yeah, we were pretty critical of him actually going for that DT drop early on. But like we said, he didn't overcommit to it. He got exactly what he wanted out of it, and then he just pulled so far ahead off that. So coming up next, guys, we have Parting going up against Violet right here on the mainstream. We are going to take a small little break, but when we come back, we have a great ZVP coming at you. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys then.